This year, consumer debt reached an all-time high in this country. So on average, Canadians are spending almost 22% more each month on their credit card compared to pre-pandemic levels. This is according to Equifax Canada. On top of that, 175,000 more Canadians missed payments on at least one non-mortgage product this year compared to the first quarter of 2022. So that is a lot of debt, obviously. And we know paying it off is so important, but what happens when you just don't have the money to pay it off? Money expert Robin Thompson is joining us with some of the answers. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. It is the reality for so many people
really
right now.
is.
That debt keeps going up, and you don't have the funds to knock it down. So why is it at an all-time high right now?
Yeah, so first thing to look at is let's take a look at why people are struggling. So when credit balances rise, what happens is that the monthly minimum payments you need to make also increases. And those numbers are staggering. So when you look at year over year, they're up 43% on average line of credit, up to $436. When you take a look at mortgage payments, it's up 15% year over year. And the delinquency rates, after you mentioned off the top, they're also rising. So again, this has to do with high inflation. It has to do with high interest rates. People are just not able to stretch their budget as much as they used to be able to before because everything is so expensive and debt is so expensive.
Okay, so what should we do first when we don't have the money to pay down the debt?
Which is the case for a lot of Canadians right now. So the first thing you want to do is you want to confront your debt. And this is one of those things where sometimes the debt that you have, it feels worse than it actually is. So you want to break it all down. You want to get out a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet, put 5 columns together. Whom do you owe? How much do you owe? What are the monthly payments? And then what is the interest rate? And then you want to take a look at that and say, okay, is that debt going towards things like my mortgage, where I'm increasing in value with capital appreciation because it's attached to a home? Is it for student debt or for education, which is increasing human capital, which means you'd be able to, again, have more higher income because your education is higher? Or is it that consumer debt? Is it travel? Is it expenses that are mindless spending, which is really bringing you down? If that's the case, you need to start readjusting your budget and look to reduce some of those expenses.
So aside from cutting down on spending, how can somebody save some extra money to pay down that debt?
Well, there's a few different ways. You could certainly go around your house and you could look at all the things that you have that you're not using and start to sell. So sell,
so good. I've been doing this.
Sell, right?
Yeah.
You know, and some people have, the used exercise equipment or lightly used exercise equipment sitting in their house during COVID.
Do you mean my Peloton that is also my clothing rack?
I would say that that's also my clothing rack at the same time. Or anything that's lightly used that you're not using. Get rid of it, sell it, so you can use some extra money to pay down your debt or stretch your summer budget. You can also look to do things like your side hustle. If you have a side hustle or you have a skill, look to be able to monetize that. How can you make money from things that you're already really great at that you can generate revenue? And then lastly, you want to look at things like coupons or flip or use your Aeroplan points. Use anything you can to reduce your costs right now because we are in this really difficult period. But what's important to remember is that this is not going to last forever.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Interest rates will not be going up forever.
Right.
Inflation will not remain at this high level for a long time. This too shall pass. So you just have to bring it in a little bit now to get you through the next little while.
Speaking of bringing it in, Robin, what about debt consolidation? Debt
consolidation is key. So if you're having these high interest rate debts, for as an example, a credit card carries about a 19% interest rate. If you can consolidate your debt into perhaps a line of credit, which is now around 7%, or personal loan that's now around 9%. So what you do is you actually take that money from the line of credit or loan, pay off the credit card. So what you're doing is you're moving that money onto the line of credit at 7% or 9% in a loan. And the difference in interest you can then use to pay down your debt or help you with your cash flow. So in some cases, you're not even creating new money. You're just managing the money that you have better, managing the credit you have better, and looking at your behaviors on how you're spending money, how you're paying on debt, and what you can do to make it better.
Robin, such great information today. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Oh, always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so good. All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.